Welcome to Rusty and Binge Face, where two friends binge watch seasons of TV shows and then we talk about it. I'm Adam McCoy.
And I'm Amanda Kathleen. Adam and I work in TV. We watch a lot of TV. If we can go back in time, what would we do? Binge more TV.
Stuff that we've already seen again.
Right.
And just not watch the Red Wedding episode of Game of Thrones.
Back to Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
In this episode, we are binging Future Man Season 2.
Future Man.
Adam had to watch both seasons because he dumb.
That's a lot of TV.
He should have watched the first season.
At least they were half-an-hour shows, so it wasn't that bad.
Yeah. It's like binging 2 seasons of Game of Thrones, right? 8 episodes.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a lot of TV. It's a lot of Josh Hutcherson. That's all I'm going to say.
Are you dreaming of Josh Hutcherson now?
Well, before I watched the show, I was dreaming of Josh Hutcherson, but now even more. He's just dumber now.
Peter was kind of dumb in Hunger Games.
He was not a smart boy.
Why does he like to play dumb man roles?
He doesn't have a great range.
That's all he knows?
Yep, that's all he knows. Stick to what you know. It's your wheelhouse. You got to stay within your wheelhouse.
So, Adam, do you have some knowledge to drop for us on Future Man?
I do. Not in the future. I have it right now.
Oh.
And I learned a few things.
Did you?
I did. So, this series was created by Howard Overman, Kyle Hunter, and Ari Shaffir.
Mm-hmm.
Ari Shaffir. It looks like Ariel. I think Ari Shaffir.
Sure. We're going to go with that one.
But Howard Overman. Do you know who Howard Overman is?
I don't.
Howard Overman. He created the series Misfits for BBC.
Oh, I love that show.
One of my favorite shows, and one of Amanda's maybe favorite shows. She likes it.
It is my favorite.
Also, a show called Vexed on BBC.
Ooh.
And then he did the BBC version, the miniseries version of Dirk Gently.
Oh, I love that show
based on the Douglas Adams novel.
He is 3 for 3 with me.
I know, no wonder. And it was also executive produced by Seth Rogen and Evan Goldberg.
The Stoner team.
And Kyle Hunter and Ariel or Ari Shaffir. They've all worked together on so many of these movies. Pineapple Express, The Interview, This Is the End, Sausage Party, which they're making a sequel to apparently.
They're making a sequel to Sausage Party?
Yeah. Google it, folks, or Bing it, depending on
nobody bangs it.
which side of the road you're
Actually,
on.
if you can leave us a comment if you bang things, I would like to know that.
Okay, I will tell you this. This is a little tip for all the listeners.
Uh-huh.
If you're looking for a video, use Bing and do not use YouTube.
Why?
Or do not use Google, excuse me. Use Bing and do not use Google. Because Google will default to YouTube because they're owned by the same company.
Mm-hmm.
So it'll give you all the results for YouTube.
Uh-huh.
But Bing will give you all these other results for other sites that are not YouTube. So it's easier to find things that you maybe can't find on YouTube.
So what you're saying is Microsoft doesn't own a video platform?
Pretty much, yeah. Why they have, yeah. But it makes it better for searching. So if there's some weird commercial or TV show you saw when you were younger and you can't find it anywhere, try Bing and do a video search. There you go, Adam's tip of the day. You're welcome. So, yes, the same team worked together to create this. They created a lot of the shows. Mm-hmm. And apparently it was originally pitched to Sony as a movie in 2012, and Sony said no. And then 5 years later, Hulu said, we'll make a series out of it.
Yeah, I'm so glad they did that.
So, are you? Because I have thoughts about that we'll talk about later.
Okay.
But the show premiered on November 14th, 2017 on Hulu, and then 2 months later it was picked up for a second season. And as of now, there's not an official word on whether it'll have a third season.
God, I hope it has a third season.
But I hope it does, yes.
Is that all the knowledge you needed to drop on us today?
Well, on a side note, a little sadder news.
Uh-oh.
So in the show, Ed Begley Jr. plays Josh's father.
Yes.
And then Glenn Headley plays his mother. Mm-hmm. Well, she died 5 episodes in. The actress who played his mother passed away. And so they had written, the storyline with the mother. So they did not recast her. Mm. And they kept her in the show because she was fantastic.
Right, as
Great.
She should be.
As Cupcake. But so she passed away, and that changed the way they were going to write the rest of the season. So if you did watch the first season, which we technically are binging the second season on this one, but if you notice a slight difference in some things, it could have been because it was never intended for her not to be in the rest of the series, apparently. They had to rewrite some stuff, which is sad news. So if you look at the last episode of season 2, it's dedicated to her.
Oh.
So she must have, so...
That's sad.
That's sad. I had some sad knowledge today, but I just thought I had to put it out there.
No, bummer.
Yeah.
That's okay. Thank you for telling us.
There we go. So that's it for the knowledge in the show.
Adam is done dropping knowledge on us, so we're gonna get into the discussion. If you haven't seen Future Man, I highly recommend it. You should definitely watch it, at least season 1, and then you can just listen to season 2 of us talk about it.
Yeah.
I don't know.
We'll talk about season 1
Once
a
you
little
see
bit,
season
too.
1, I feel like you'll want to watch season 2. But this is your spoiler
Maybe.
warning. Maybe. Oh no. This is your spoiler warning. Please go watch it. Don't watch it. Whatever. Just be warned.
Just don't get mad at us if we spoil something for you later on, if you
Yes.
haven't seen it.
So, that overview of season 1. So, Future Man starts off with Josh Hutcherson is a janitor at a
Science research lab,
science research lab.
where they're researching herpes and the cure for herpes,
Correct.
which apparently lives in the ejaculate of possums.
It's all about the possum semen.
That's right.
And he is addicted to this video game. Do you know what the video game's called?
Biotic Wars.
Biotic Wars. Bionic Wars?
Biotic Wars.
Biotic Wars. So Josh Hutcherson's character, whose name is Josh in the show.
So easy to remember. Again, go in with the don't go outside your wheelhouse.
Don't go out of your house.
Don't try to get too heady with us, Josh.
Nope. He is addicted to this game called Biotic Wars that he just plays religiously.
All the time.
Trapped in the janitor's closet playing Biotic Wars.
A game that nobody has beaten.
No.
It's an older game, apparently. That's how long it's been around,
Yes.
and nobody has beaten the game.
No. So in the first episode, he actually beats the game.
What?
And the 2 leads in the Biotic Wars game come to him.
Time leap into his
Time
room.
leap, Last Starfighter-esque.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Like, he beats the game. They come and they say, "You are our savior.
The
You
warrior."
must- the warrior. You must save us." And the best part of that whole episode is he's ejaculating. He is masturbating to...
He's celebrating a victory.
He's celebrating his win from
Victory. Getting the tension out while he's looking at a poster of Tiger.
Tiger, who
From the
is
game.
Elisa Coop. Is that her name?
Yes, Elisa Coop.
Who has been in lots of TV shows.
She's one that you see her and you're like, I know I know her. But then you have to look
she's
up
always been in like
who she is.
shows where it's like it had 1 season or 2 seasons. She's never
And she's
fully
never been the
in-
full, like, I guess she's kind of the lead, but not like running her own show where she's the star of it. It's kind
Right.
of in the cast. Because
Yes.
you see her, I'm like, oh, I've seen her. And then I had to look it up on IMDb, and I'm like, I think I remember seeing that show. But as soon as you see her, you recognize her.
You know her,
Yeah.
yeah. So he's masturbating to her character in the game, and then Tiger and Wolf,
Derek Wilson.
Derek
Wolf,
Wilson,
the actor.
pop up, and Josh finishes on Wolf, and they do the whole spiel of "You're gonna save the world" while he has ejaculate on him. And it's
Kaboom.
hilarious. It's probably one of my
What
my
an
favorite
intro.
pilots.
What an intro.
And then the entire season 1 is them going back in time to stop the scientist that does come up with the cure for herpes, cure
Herpes.
for all,
Yes.
basically.
And
in
looking
the
for the cure
future.
for herpes, he cures all disease
Correct.
and creates these biotics.
Correct. They're
They're
Robots?
essentially
robots
No.
or like humans.
They're essentially perfect humans who cannot have, can't get any disease, and they're perfect in every way.
Right.
And they tried to get everybody else in the world to take this antidote /
Like a vaccine.
vaccine, and the people who refused, there was a feud between the the worlds, and you have the resistance, and then you have these biotic super perfect people.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And that's played by Dr. Cronish is the guy's name. Is played by Keith David. As
He's
soon as
been
you
in,
see
like,
him, you know
everything.
he's been everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he creates the cure.
Mm-hmm.
They come back and try to stop him
Yep.
via Back to the Future quantum leap style.
They're gonna try to
trying
kill
say-
him,
Yeah.
and then Josh talks him out of killing him, and he's like, "No, I'll just make sure he doesn't get herpes." And then they do that
Epic dance battle.
epic dance battle.
Moon suits.
Great scene about white people trying to get into a black fraternity in the 60s.
Mm-hmm.
And
Police.
talking about, we'll just
brutality.
put blackface on. Josh
no.
has to explain
Whoa,
to the
whoa,
future
whoa.
people
We can't do that.
what you can't put blackface on.
And so as the season goes on, every time he tries to save the future without killing Dr. Cronish,
Correct.
it ends up being worse
Yes,
and worse
and
and
worse
worse
and
and worse.
Eventually, he does kill Cronish. And
/ Cronish kills himself
Yeah.
to prevent Josh from murdering somebody.
correct. And so the season 1 ends with pretty much blowing up the scientific lab to prevent it from
the cure being released.
correct.
The doctor kills himself. He blows up the lab. All the research is gone.
All of it's gone.
The wolf and tiger go back to the future,
Mm-hmm.
and Josh ends up in jail for it. He's fine with that, knowing
Right.
that he saved the world.
Thinking that he saved the world, and then it ends with a flash.
A flash of white, like a time travel's about to happen, and then it ends.
And then it ends.
Welcome season 2.
Welcome season 2. And then I also wanted to point out at the end of season 1, when he goes back to the future, when he goes back to his time before he blows up the lab, he rebranded himself as
Juice.
So that's a great.
Because, again, you need to watch the first season.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
Ed Begley Jr. as his father
Yeah,
is hilarious.
he is.
He's my favorite character in the whole show.
In the
Season
whole
1 and
show?
season 2. His fatherly advice to Wolf the entire time, him doing the
I
cooking
know,
lessons.
I love that.
It's great. I love Ed Begley Jr. He's an underrated actor. But he goes back in time via Back to the Future
Right.
to make sure his parents get together at
Right.
a party. Not to make sure, but he, and he
Right.
says his name is Juice for some reason in the when he goes back in time. And so they say, "Oh, we named you Juice because of this nice boy who got us together at this party."
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's why he rebrands himself as Juice, and he's a douche video game player who's addicted to energy drinks, essentially, and doesn't have any friends, only people that work for him.
Yes, and there's some great moments where Tiger goes back in time to kill baby Cronage, and she just gets stuck there as a 50s housewife or something.
40s housewife
Yeah.
/ live-in. That's a great character arc.
And then Wolf goes to the 80s,
Becomes a restaurant owner,
becomes this greatest chef who's addicted to cocaine.
hooked on cocaine.
Just everything is just fantastic.
Yeah.
And then also some point along the way, they have to go to James Cameron's house, which is a marvelous scene.
It's a great episode.
There's also a dick swapping between Josh and Wolf, which apparently
Yes.
Wolf has the longest penis I've ever seen in my life.
It's, according to season 2, it's almost 20 pounds
Oh, Jesus.
total. The boy named Sue told us that.
The boy in suit. But that whole interaction of dick swapping is hilarious because I think that, one, guys are always concerned about the size of their penis. So the fact that a dick swapping could actually happen,
It would freak people out.
well, like that one dude that doesn't have a big penis could get a big penis, and then the
Would
guy
lose his.
Yeah, would
So
lose his.
hence all his manhood is gone.
Exactly.
It's all tied into that.
So I think it's just hilarious.
Yeah, a lot of insecure people out there.
Yeah. So let's pretty much wrap up with season 1. It's fantastic. You should watch it. It's
Yes.
hilarious.
Mhm.
And then season 2 starts off with Josh thinking that
He's released from prison.
he's released from prison. They put him on like a house arrest.
Scarface cop is there making sure he doesn't escape on a house arrest. And
Correct.
his friend / employee from the video game store is there with him.
Right.
And they start asking him all these weird questions in an aggressive manner.
And then Tiger and Wolf show up again. And they kill them. And they're like, we're here because we're going to go back in time again. And then that leads to Josh figuring out that something's wrong. And then you see him wake up in a vat of
Goo.
white goo.
He's in a simulation.
He's in a simulation.
Like the Matrix.
And that one take shot where it goes all around the tub because he's in this concrete room, like in
Yeah.
a tub of this goo. He's like crawling out of it, and that whole shot where it starts from one end and goes all the way to the other is fantastic.
Yeah.
And then you get a shot of the gigantic
Of the
penis again.
giant. Yeah.
They just want to remind you.
In case you forgot.
In case you
Here
forgot.
you go.
It was perfect. It was like I was literally watching it, and like it ends with his penis, and I go, "Oh, that's right, they
I
dick swapped."
forgot. They swapped. Like a Freaky Friday situation,
know.
only part of the body swapped.
So Josh is now in the future, 61, 62.
It's dystopian future.
From Tiger and Wolf come from that time.
Mm-hmm.
So he's now there.
They think they saved everything. And everything
Correct.
is because Cronus is dead.
Mm-hmm.
Turns out not really better.
Nope.
Everybody's different.
Everyone's different.
So it's this world that they don't recognize. And then Josh is brought hundreds of years in the future, so he's really out of his element.
The pointed circle, who is this underground
It's like the resistance group. Yeah.
wants to use Josh.
To stop Haley Joel Osment.
I love Haley Joel
Yay!
Osment in this. So
He's
Haley
great.
Joel Osment plays a dick in the first season. And then in this season, he's like kind of likable, but then Turns out to be a
dick
dick.
in the end.
Yes.
Spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert. He's
been
a dick all around.
Swabbing urethras, and he's really mad.
I'm just really glad he is like
Doing something,
yes,
right? It was nice to see
I
him.
miss him. Like you
Plus,
see
I
him
can
as a
say,
kid.
He still has some dance moves. That was pretty impressive. Some of the scenes in this
Yeah.
show, dancing around.
No, he looks really good.
Mhm,
Like
yeah.
I'm very glad that he's back.
The beard, I think he had to grow that beard to really get
Mm.
out of that childish face looking
Yeah.
typecast. But yeah, I was glad to see him in the first season, even though he wasn't in it that much.
Right.
He did a great job.
He did a good job
The
there.
whole
And I like the fact that he's just
Cronish
like
Balls episode.
yeah.
But yeah, it's great.
I'm glad that he's like one of the main characters in this season.
Mm-hmm. So he's created this world where they're going
Mhm.
to take everybody to Mars to save the rest of the inhabitants on Earth
Mhm.
because the Earth is going to die because global warming
That no one believes in.
That no one
Still in the
believes in.
future.
from the is going to destroy the planet. So he has this idea to take everyone to Mars to save them.
Right.
But it turns out he's not that old. He's actually AI. He uploaded his consciousness into a computer, so he's walking around, but he's not really there.
He's not really there because he's come from the same time as Josh, so it wouldn't make any sense for him to just.
He was with Dr. Kronos. He was Dr. Kronos'
Mhm.
partner in the first season. And then because apparently Tiger was a biotic,
Mm-hmm.
and he had one of her hairs, and he was able to analyze
Yep.
the hair, get the cure. So he's the one who actually created the cure, even though Kronos offed himself.
Yep. Which I'm still shook about.
That she's a
That
biotic?
she's a biotic.
I know. Where's that story going?
I
That's
don't
what I wanna
know. Maybe they'll expand more in the next season. So what I like is that the first episode is you see Josh accumulating to the future,
Mm-hmm.
and then the next episode it's literally the same day type situation. You
Yes.
follow each one of their paths.
They all separate in this
Mhm.
one, and they all go their own ways and do their own thing,
Right.
pretty much.
So Tiger and Wolf come back to their present. Tiger and Wolf get to the nag,
Mm-hmm. The nag, yes.
and then they take Wolf because he looks like this dude named Torque, who
Yeah.
is his other.
The first
person.
timeline, everybody has animal names.
Correct.
This timeline, everybody has mechanical machine names.
Which I think is hilarious.
Yeah, it's funny. They're just going to keep that joke going.
Yeah. So they take Wolf,
Mm-hmm.
pretending to be Torque. They take him because he's like dying,
Mm-hmm. Corey Torkhart.
Corey Torquehart, and then they won't let Tiger in until she passes the test. But she already knows she's not going to pass the test,
So she just heads out of there.
so she heads out. And so you see her find Haley Joel Osment's
Compound.
compound,
Mm-hmm.
and then he explains to her everything. But what's the freakiest part is that her version in this timeline is Haley Joel Osment's daughter.
He cloned.
He cloned. No, he didn't clone her. He found her.
Oh, that's right.
He
All right,
had
so
he had like a DNA finder out there
yes.
until like it pinged and like she was orphaned,
They found the baby and that matched the DNA. That's right.
and then he raised her.
As his
As
daughter,
his
even though he
daughter.
was in love with
Yes,
Tiger the whole time.
yes. So
Because she made him dinner once, and he's been obsessed ever since.
right, and so like her
Nerd.
Tiger's fake name is Diane, and so he named his daughter Tyann.
Tie-in, yeah, that's a good touch.
So it's like Tiger and Diane together. Tyann. That whole scene is hilarious because Tyann has
Plus-
this weird
Super
high-pitched
high-pitched voice. Yeah,
And
it's
she's
the
like-
complete opposite of Tiger.
and she's like, "Ew, Dad, you want to bone my clone?" And like, like that whole interaction is
Yeah.
great. And then the third episode is Wolf figuring out that his version timeline Torque is involved in a cluster marriage.
Yeah, where there's 6 adults to try to ensure that children survive. So instead of being 2 parents, there
It's
are
6.
6 parents, 3 men and 3 women.
Yes.
So that's an interesting dynamic they have.
And they all live like primitively, like
Yeah.
like all their names is basically their jobs. Like so, like back in the medieval times, if your last name was blacksmith, you were a blacksmith,
Mm-hmm.
or like smith now. That's
Yeah.
So his name is Torque because he makes wheels,
Because he makes wheels.
and he has to make wheels. Like it's very primitive.
Yeah. Great montage when he's learning to make a wheel.
Yeah, that's great.
That's great.
Because he's like fighting this whole. He's like, "What are you guys talking about? I'm not this person." Fighting this whole like.
But then he has to
future.
support the family, so he has to make wheels to make money / keyboard keys.
I think the wheel making and then like the love making also, like the 6-way. finally
Yeah.
brings him over. So now
yeah.
he doesn't want to leave. He likes the nag.
Lots of love in the future.
And then, so the rest of the season is Josh eventually finds Wolf in the nag because they pick him up as a stray to work in their technology farm
To
where they
destroy
just,
all technology.
Yeah.
Because it brings bad things.
Yeah. And so Wolf and Josh are together, and then what the best part is like there's like Josh is like, we have to leave, and Wolf's like, no, I'm not gonna leave, and then all of a sudden Tiger shows up, is like, we're leaving.
Yeah.
Because there's no way in or out of the nag, and like Tiger just shows up, and it's
But
hilarious.
Wolf is now grown accustomed to his cluster.
Yes.
And he ends up eventually becoming supreme leader
Supreme leader of the nag.
of the nag because he beats Red from that 70s show
Yes.
as the supreme leader, which is a great part. Who's literally crazy because he had the brain worm from the first season.
Yes.
And now he's gone
the
crazy.
brain
His
worm.
rules are insane.
Mhm.
Everything costs the same amount. It's one
It's just one
chick,
one chick.
whatever the currency is
Mhm.
for a wheel or a house or for anything. And this one, Wolf, who was the dumb one of the first season,
Right.
has all these like, this doesn't make sense.
Right.
And he becomes like the genius of
Well,
the nag.
I mean, Wolf wasn't dumb. Like Wolf is like the tech ops.
Yeah,
Of,
he's demolitions.
he's demolitions.
Yeah.
So
But
he's not dumb. He's just like not cultured.
Yeah. But I love the parallels between society and the whole
Oh yeah, it's fantastic.
immigrants coming in.
Yes.
So they're lazy and they want to steal our jobs. I'm confused about that.
It's great.
Yeah, so there's some good stuff there.
Yeah, they have some nice political back and forth. And then finally, Tiger tells Wolf she's a biotic, and like they have a falling out.
Mm-hmm.
So he's definitely staying at the nag. Tiger goes and like
She's going to hook up with Stu. And
hook up with Stu, who's Haley Joel Osment's character.
Mm-hmm.
They have a brain
Sex scene.
sex scene. Like she
Yeah.
goes into
His brain room.
his brain
essentially.
room. It's
The only organic material left from his original body is in a suspension tube.
Yeah. Looks like nerve.
Yeah, or a
Like a
starfish
brain with, like, a nerve
type
thing.
of yeah.
Yeah, so she puts her hand in this like gooey gel
Mhm.
that's housing the nerve
And
brain
you
things.
hear him talking the whole time.
Yeah.
Talking her through it. Yeah, not odd at all.
No,
Mm-mm.
it's hilarious.
So that happens. He shows her this
Mhm.
immersive world where she can come into this reality
Mm-hmm.
in her form, like in a brainwave, and
Right.
do whatever she wants. All the bad things can go away. She can eat as many cat tacos as she wants. She can do whatever she wants. She can have a dance number and a song number.
Right.
She can have conversations with Dr. Cronish's mother to tell her that she was going
Right.
to kill him. So So then she falls for him.
Mm-hmm.
Says, "Fine, I don't need you, Wolf.
Right.
I'll go with
I
this
got-
guy.
I
We'll
got
go to
this dude."
Mars
Yeah.
like everybody else." But it turns out Mars is not Mars.
But she's okay with that.
She's okay with that.
She's like, yeah, let's get everyone in this hive mind type situation.
They're essentially going to kill everybody and upload their consciousness, and their bodies are going to die.
Right. I think Mars stands for something.
Augmented something. Reality simulation.
Right. So
Man-made augmented. Yeah.
Mars stands for not Mars
Mhm,
in this scenario. Everyone thinks that they're going to Mars, but they're not.
They're all wearing tracksuits,
Right.
warming up,
This is great.
doing laps around the complex.
It
all
looks
the
like
time.
Wall-E. Like,
Only none of them are fat.
only none of
Like,
them are fat. At some point, Josh and Wolf end up at Stu's complex,
Mhm.
and they're trying to tell Tiger, like, we need to go back. And she's not listening to them. And so the entire time, she's like, Tiger feels bad for Tyann because she's not as tough as Tiger is. And then in that moment, Tyann shoots her with a dart,
Mm-hmm.
put her to sleep.
Yeah.
And she shows her Tiger
Turns out
self. She's
she
like,
was
come with me.
part of the pointed circle the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason they wanted Josh from the beginning is there was something about him that could essentially glitch Stewart's
Because he just
reality.
Stu's just always angry around Josh.
Yeah, he can't handle it. So they're trying to use him as a weapon to stop Stewart
Correct.
from doing this because they all know what's going to happen. They
Right.
know it's not really Mars. They're going to kill all these people, upload
Right.
their consciousness.
So they wanted him to basically shut down the system. So that's what they were doing in the bath,
Mm-hmm.
is trying to get Josh to shut down the system, but it's affecting his body.
Mm-hmm.
And so after he escapes in the beginning, there's one point where they go back to get the TTD
Mm-hmm.
to go back in time to fix everything, and Josh just finds a pile of Joshes.
Like 27 dead Josh bodies in the room, and
Like, it's horrifying.
he's gonna crawl over them to get out. Yeah.
So they've been doing all these experiments on him, but like he's the only one that could withstand it, and he's Josh number 1.
He's Josh number 1.
He's J1. That's what they call him, J1.
So from Josh to Juice to
J1.
Hard telling what he'll be next season. The second to last episode is them devising a plan to stop this from happening. Like, he's a glitch. We'll get him in the system. He'll shut down the computer. We'll all be saved.
Right. So they do that, and then Tiger snaps out of it, grabs Josh, and is like, there's a better way to do this. So what do? Is they go back in time, because there is 11 seconds where Stu goes, like, shuts down his security devices.
To install a patch to get rid of his glitch from Josh. He's
right.
Like, I can install a patch.
He figured it out when Josh was trying to go to Mars, that's what was going to happen. So the second to last episode is probably like one of my favorite episodes. They're literally, it's like 11 seconds.
They do a time jump every 11 seconds back in time.
And there's so many versions of them, and it's so hilarious.
They intercut between versions 11, versions 20, and you hear them talking all the different things that they all do. But they end up getting to his brain, destroying his brain.
They do. They destroy Stu. And then after that, the time cops, I don't remember their name.
Dressed like they're from 1820.
Which is hilarious.
Yeah.
So the time cops come and take them because they've broken too many time laws. And
they've created too many problems.
They've created too many problems, so they stick them in this weird jail cell with basically like 3 cubed clear rooms stuck together. And like the entire time, Seth Rogen is the attorney general, kind of like trying to get someone to talk. And his name is Susan. And he says, in my time, Susan is neither a girl or a boy's name. And so Seth Rogen's character, I'm so glad that he was.
Yeah, and I'm glad he was only
for a little bit.
Yeah, he was only in one episode, which I like. They didn't, pull it in too early to try to do anything with it.
Right.
But they're all essentially in Westworld cells. It looks like an episode
like
of Westworld.
Westworld. Yeah, it really does.
And they're trying to get them each to turn on each other.
And what happens is, at the very end, he's like, okay. He goes to each one of them separately, and none of them can hear what's going on. And he's like, look, I'm gonna give you the spray, and it's gonna kill
whoever you spray it
on. So instead of all of you dying, only 2 of you don't have to die. So he goes to each one and explains that to them. And at the end, they're having their last meal, and then they're given the spray.
The power's gonna go out. Lights will go out. You do this, and then you can go free.
Right. So the lights go out. They all spray.
But they spray themselves. They spray the other 2. It's a nice,
sweet. They
all
like each other. And then the best part of the episode.
And then Seth Rogen comes back on with the swelling music and reality TV show Decathlon
at the Ultramax, which is the prison. It basically looks like a Coliseum.
Man. It looks like Running Man. Remember the Running Man Schwarzenegger movie?
Oh yeah.
It's essentially Running Man, right? So it's this futuristic TV show about who can survive. And these 3 are going to be candidates on it, which will be great. That's why I can't wait for season 3.
Like,
I hope
it's the best ending.
That will be great.
So that's basically season 2. That's the overview.
If they make a season 3, I'm going to be honest, and it's as good as I think it will be. I will just recommend seasons 1 and season 3.
Come on.
Just skip season 2 altogether.
I liked season 2.
That brings us into the discussion part.
The did you like it or not part. Well, I'm just going to go ahead and go because I have all positives.
That's fantastic.
The reason why I like season 2 is because it's different than what you think season 2 is going to be.
Yes.
Maybe it's because Josh's mom passed away in real life. Not his actual mom, but his show mom. That it's changed, but I actually like it because it gives the dynamic of they think that they saved their future. They go back, they realize it's not the same future that they thought it was going to be. And are they okay with that? Are they okay with just being adequate? Like,
are they okay with living this other timeline completely? Right. Because life at this point is still better than it was when they were it.
Yeah.
But worse things happened before that.
Right.
But are they okay with just leaving it this way?
Are they okay with that? And I really like that character arc of are they okay with it? And also I like the different paths that they take to really like figure out who they are as a character. And I think Josh doesn't really grow.
Yeah.
But I like that he's the constant, and I
Mhm.
like that Tiger and Wolf are always the ones that are like finding new things and finding
Yeah.
out who they are. But like Josh is just always going to be Josh.
He's just the third wheel.
He is literally
Torque's
just a third
third
wheel.
wheel.
So that's why I like season 2, and I'm excited for season 3 because I feel like it's 3 separate stories, and I
Yes.
think they're all hilarious and funny.
I think for me, that's why, like, the first season, I think, I don't know, I'll ask you, but for me personally, the first season was much better than the second season.
I mean, I like the first
If you had
season.
to choose, which one do you think was better? Which would you say?
I mean, the first season, but I don't think that season 2 was like a crappy
I don't think
season
it's
2.
okay. I'm just saying in a comparison, and I think part of that is because it was probably originally pitched as a movie. They probably had this whole
Right.
story in place, and it was like, okay, this will work. And then season 2, they had to come up with something different, which I give them credit for. It's a great addition. I don't like the fact that they separate that much. Part of what I liked about it was the dynamic between those 3. I thought it was I think they were great together, and I fine
You
with
just wanted to see them more together.
yeah, it was the first episode. They were not even the first episode. They weren't together at all until later on, and then it was only for a few minutes. I could see having that a little bit, but the whole part was them. I think it was the dynamic of the 3 of them together
Right.
would have been more interesting. A little more of that, plus the fact that Josh's character did nothing in this besides the very end of the season. It's like his character had no growth at all. It was
No, but I think that's
I mean, the first
that's a-
episode,
that's
he had a
hilarious.
lot to do, going over his
he
dead
had a lot
bodies.
to do, but I don't think he grew at all. Did he?
No,
I mean,
he didn't.
He gained a little confidence.
I think
and
I think
like,
even like the cover art for the second season of him in that toga with a chain,
right.
even that was kind of like, okay, why did you choose that as your cover art if he's in that for like half an episode, and then after that he's going to be in a prison? I mean, I think to me there was more potential there. I do like that storyline where it went. Like, it's an interesting idea. I just personally didn't like it as much as the first season. There's so much more in the first season that I liked.
There's just a lot going on.
It was
in the
like
first
2
season.
different shows. It really was like 2 different shows. Even the characters changed that much. But at this point, Wolf becomes the one is the one who's reasoning,
Right.
and
Tiger's the one that's
Tiger's out there, and they know so much more. Now they're the smart ones, which is a good flip. I understand that, but to me personally, I just like the first. I still like the second season. I still enjoyed it. I still watched it
Right.
all. I just think the first seemed almost completely different, which it was because they were.
It was.
I mean, it was.
which I kind of liked. That's why I liked it.
Yeah,
I'm glad it wasn't like
they didn't just
continuation.
continue to change it that way. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
you can only do that so much. But I think the third one will go
I think
back.
Ultramac's gonna be amazing.
It's going to be great. I think it will be great, and it'll be a little more like the first one as far as the 3 of them. Hopefully, they would be
Together.
I
feel like maybe they'll compete maybe against each other. That'll also be hilarious.
Yeah. If you ask me about like favorite episodes, I have a lot more to say about the first season than the second season.
Okay.
They kind of all blend together. There's a few funny parts, but like in the first season, the episode with the Cronish balls
Oh yeah.
is a great episode,
That's a good episode.
and there's a few standout things. In the second one, there's some good stuff too.
Well,
but
Like the things that I liked in the second season is I liked their different TV show intros.
yeah,
Like I think it was like episode 4.
dun dun, like Law and Order.
Yeah, like they had the Law and Order episode, and then like I think episode 4 they did like the family sitcom intro.
With Wolf and his
Right, when Wolf decides that he's gonna be
Yeah,
in
that was
this.
good. Yeah, that was funny.
in that
they
family.
did that a few different times. Yeah,
Yeah,
I like that element.
I like
as
that
well.
one, and I like that you got to see Torque before he passed. Like there is like a back
Yeah,
in time.
a totally different Torque.
Yeah, he was like a totally different Wolf. So I thought that was fantastic.
Yeah, dreadlocks and slightly effeminate,
Slightly effeminate, yeah.
but more into tech. But Wolf and Tiger, or Torque and Tyann, hooked up
Yes.
in that lifetime. That there was some funny stuff. I didn't say it was bad. I just preferred the first season. I think if I had to pick.
Yeah, I think overall it's a great series because I really enjoy the sci-fi aspect of it. It's very well written, like in a sci-fi scientific if
Standpoint.
Yeah, if it was possible, like it's very
It covers the basis.
on point.
of
Yeah,
what would
especially
happen,
that
what might
last
happen,
episode when Susan is explaining all the time.
how they created all these problems and all the
Yes,
different
these
yeah.
branches of timelines where like shit just happened. Like it's
Yeah.
it's like it goes in the detail, and you're like, wow, like that shit happens. But then I also enjoy all the silly, gross comedy that they
Oh, yeah.
slap into it. So I think overall it's fantastic.
Yeah.
Also, I like that they kept the dick swapping joke throughout
The
season
entire
2.
time, yeah.
Yes. Like they just keep running,
Wolf
running that joke.
accepts it. He moves on, and they make references to it. His cluster makes references to it.
But throughout the whole season too,
Yeah.
and I hope that they continue it in season 3. Like they just continue talking about the penises.
And then you forget that Tiger and Wolf swapped toes, so she has no big toe. She has a little.
She has two big toes.
Two big toes, and Wolf has 2 little toes.
Yes.
So he got the short end of the stick.
He really did.
Literally, in both instances there, which is kind of funny.
So I enjoyed that. Do you have any pet peeves? I mean, I don't have any pet peeves, but do you have any pet peeves?
I wouldn't say I really have any pet peeves. I think the storyline was more dynamic in the first season. There was so much more going on, but that's because they were traveling to different timelines each time. This one, they stayed in one timeline for the entire season.
Yes.
Besides a few flashbacks or whatever else they would do. But yeah, I no pet peeves. I think it was funny. I think it was a really funny show. The only pet peeve I have is, even though I'm paying for Hulu myself to watch commercials when I'm streaming,
every time he watches
really
Hulu,
takes
he
you out of
complains to me the entire time.
The beauty of binging when you don't have commercials is you get into it.
Right.
When you have to take compared to what it was like growing up, commercials sucked. And I understand why my kids complain about watching real TV versus Netflix.
Right.
Or anything else. But when you're sitting there and you've committed, I'm going to watch 7 episodes tonight or whatever, when you have to wait, 2.5 minutes 3 times in the show, you're like, come on.
I don't know. It helps break it up for me because I'm like, oh, commercial, check my phone. And then I check my phone.
Don't check your phone, get into it.
And then after it's done, I'm like, okay, back to the show.
Just pause it before the next show starts.
It might be hereditary from my mother because she will watch movies that she owns on television.
Even though she has the DVD?
Even though she has the DVD.
She will watch it on...
She said, I'd rather watch it on TV. And I'm like, but it has commercials. She's like, I just like it on the TV.
When you're watching it on TV, it's just shared experience. Other people are watching that same exact movie you are.
Right.
So it's like being at the movies. You're like, I can't see them, but we're all experiencing this together. Kumbaya.
So I don't mind Hulu, but I think you should just suck it up and pay the extra.
Well, you ask if I had... But you pay the extra, you still have ads, right?
No, you don't have ads if you pay the extra.
Oh, okay.
Dummy.
Netflix doesn't have ads anyway.
No, but they
cost more.
They raise their price this year.
Yeah.
So there you go.
The only pet peeve I would have would be that.
Well, then what's your bingeability? Season 2. We're not doing season 1.
Okay. All right. Season 2, I'm going to go 4.
4?
Just a solid 4.
I'm going to go with 5 because I didn't
You
stop.
give out those 5s.
I didn't stop. I just kept going.
Nothing.
Because I'm obsessed.
Oh, man. They should make another category for other TV shows then. So right now you're saying that nothing can compete with that. Game of Thrones, any other show, Stranger Things, cannot be any more bingeable than Future Man.
Yeah.
Crazy. It's craziness.
I just love them so much. I just want to keep watching.
All right. Well, I'm going to stick
did.
Okay.
I
to each her own.
Binged it out. I had to stop myself because it was getting late.
I was that way with season 1. I'll admit. Season 1 really got me.
Yeah.
Season 2, not so much.
No.
So I still give it a 4 all around.
Okay.
Which, on my standards, is still not bad.
You're right, because the highest you have is 4.5.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It's time for Snack Attack. What were you eating, Adam, while watching?
While binging
Future Man.
26 episodes of Future Man. With the whole stoner mentality, I went back to college food, Mountain Dew, and then a combination that I occasionally partake in. Cheetos and chili cheese Fritos mixed together in the same bowl.
That's fantastic.
So it's a great mix. I highly recommend it. But it has to be the chili cheese Fritos with the Cheetos. I was trying to think of a clever name, but they both sound the same. Cheetos, Fritos. You can't do anything funny.
No, you can't.
Chili Cheetos?
Chilitos.
Chilitos. Yeah, there you go. So a bowl of Chilitos.
That's your new favorite snack.
Mountain Dew and Chilitos. You could live off that stuff.
Well, if you're looking to throw a stoner party to watch Future Man, I have some snacks for you guys.
All right. Let's hear them.
I looked up some stoner-esque snacks. Funny enough, Cheetos is one of them.
Got to.
You need that cheesy...
If you partook.
If you partook and you feel the need for cheese, I feel Cheetos is the way to go.
Yeah.
Also, grab you a bag of Funyuns.
Gotta go Funyuns, man.
You gotta go Funyuns. You can even mix those two.
Yeah.
If you're really adventurous. Also, can't go wrong with pizza rolls.
Totino's.
Totino's.
The cheaper the better.
Just do a mix combo, 3 meat, pepperoni, cheese. Throw them in there.
They're all the same anyway. Is there really a difference? The mix is just pureed
No, it's
sauce and cheese. You can't really tell.
just make sure that when you put them in the oven, you wear a glove to take them out. As if you've ever seen Grandma's Boy.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's a problem. In the sweet realm, you can go for cookie dough.
Straight cookie dough.
Straight cookie dough.
Mm-hmm.
You know, your mom got cookie dough in the fridge for later, but you don't care.
Just eat it.
You're high as fuck. You need some cookie dough. Also, the go-to number 1 dessert snack. Twinkies.
Gotta go Twinkies.
Gotta go Twinkies. Pound you down a whole box of Twinkies.
They're easy to eat.
Yeah.
They're not messy.
Mm-hmm.
You know, not like a Suzy Q.
No.
That's an open face dessert. It gets messy. Twinkies self-contained.
Yep.
The perfect size.
Yep.
If you really want to go, Twinkie wiener sandwich a la UHF.
No.
Twinkie, split down the middle. Hot dog.
Don't do it.
Spray cheese. Twinkie wiener sandwich.
I mean, like, if you were, like, super stoned.
Yep. You gotta be.
So, if none of that suits your boat, I feel like there's a good hearty entree for you. Taco Bell.
Is it wrong that I eat this way even though I'm not high? Because this is all food that I would.
It just means
gladly
you're high
partake
on
in.
life, Adam.
That's right. You gotta run for the bell, man, even if you're not.
I'm just saying, just get you a box of tacos, turn on the tube, and just start enjoying life.
Not even a
man.
box. You go and do the dollar menu.
Yeah.
And you get like 30 tacos.
Yeah.
And you're good to go.
Well, like a box of 12 is $12.
Mm-hmm.
So technically, yes, it's $1 a taco.
Yeah, but speaking as a Taco Bell connoisseur,
$20 will get you a.
the dollar menu tacos have
Yeah.
a lot more on them than the taco
Okay.
box. You can get a Frito taco, more Fritos,
More Fritos.
Fritos.
A Dorito taco.
a Dorito taco, cheesy bean and rice burrito. You get all kinds of things.
You crunch
Taco
wrap
Bell
it out.
Crunchwrap Supreme is amazing.
And then you get your Mountain Dew.
And you're getting Mountain Dew, and there you can get the Baja Blast Mountain Dew, which is
Oh,
gross.
my
I don't like
God.
that. You gotta go classic Mountain Dew.
My fiance loves
Mm-mm.
Baja Blast.
No, it's
all
it's
day
an
long.
abomination. I can just say that. I'm going on the record. It's disgusting. It's for people who liked Kool-Aid, but they wanted to go into soda. So they're like, Baja Blast. I'll take this. No. Classic Mountain Dew.
Classic Mountain Dew.
Mm-hmm.
So those are the stoner snacks. If you want to throw a party, or if you just want to have a single party, because
Yeah.
you're real hungry.
I can give my endorsement to all of those.
To all this.
All of those. Ring true.
So that was Snack Attack. Stoner Edition.
And that's the best edition
And
of Snack Attack. The Stoner
This
Edition.
is the Stoner Edition. So what do we watch? What are we binging next week, Adam?
Next week, we are binging The Punisher Season 2.
Season 2.
But I'm going to have to double up again because I haven't seen Season 1.
What a dork.
I've seen the first 2 episodes. And then, life happened. So I never finished watching the first season. But we're also going to binge Season 2
of Game of
Game
Thrones.
of Thrones. Continuing our Game of Thrones
That's right.
binging. So I have a lot of TV to catch up on.
You have tons of TV to watch. I, on the other hand, have no children.
It's a good thing I don't
No
have
life.
3 kids and a job.
I can just binge right away.
Yeah, I'll work later. We'll just do that. So it's going to be a good week. I'm a big fan of
I'm super excited for Punisher.
Punisher in the Daredevil series. When I watched that, I watched the first, and I like the Punisher as a character.
Yeah, the guy that plays Frank Castle in the new one from Walking Dead, he's fantastic.
Mhm.
I love him. And then the first season is great because his friend, whoever plays his friend, is also great. Like the whole dynamic is wonderful. And so I'm interested to see what happens this season.
Cool.
It's gonna be great.
Somebody's going to get punished to the extreme.
Oh goodness. On that note, thank you guys for listening. If you guys enjoyed this episode, please like, subscribe, and share. You can also leave us a comment.
Let us know what you think,
What you think?
what you want us to binge.
Yeah, what you liked. Maybe there's a TV show that you think that we should binge.
And let me know if you also agree that Season 1 of Future Man was better than Season 2. I just have to have somebody else to confirm that for
Oh,
Amanda. Just saying.
I'm just saying I like them equally. It's like having 2 children. You like them equally.
No, you don't. says the
the
one
family man.
who doesn't have children. No, yes, you like them all equally.
Of course you
Of
do.
course, all the time.
All the
There's
time.
never a time. Yeah, so like, comment, subscribe.
All those things. And then we'll see you bingers next week.
Bye.